Hey everybody, Pastor Davis here. As I mentioned on Sunday, every day during Holy Week, outside of Friday, because we're going to be together, we're going to be going through a quick devotional, going through what Jesus' last week on earth may have looked like. And by no means during this week are we saying that the passages that we're going through are exactly what happened on the specific day of the week. The scripture just doesn't tell us some of these things. But what we are doing is we want to give a sneak peek or just a little glimpse of what Jesus' last week on earth looked like before he went to the cross on Friday for you and for me. So the passage that we are going to be in this morning is going to be in Luke chapter 19, verses 45 through 48. I'm going to read it for us real quick. It says this. And he entered the temple, and he began to drive out those who sold, saying to them, "It is written, my house shall be a house of prayer, but you have made it a den of robbers." And he was teaching daily in the temple. The chief priests and scribes and principal men of the people were seeking to destroy him, but they did not find anything they could do, for all the people were hanging on his words. Now, this passage happens directly after Jesus just came into Jerusalem on a donkey, like we talked about yesterday at church. But the text here specifically says Jesus comes to the temple, and he finds that as he enters the temple, all these people are buying and selling and trading inside the temple. Now, I want to say what's not going on here first before I tell you what is going on. What's not going on here is that people are selling just a few things here or there for sacrifices or religious ceremonies or those kind of things. That was legal under the old covenant law. But what was happening here was there were money changers and there were sellers that were inside the temple that were ripping people off who were just trying to worship, trying to make a profit off of people. And when Jesus comes in and he sees this stuff that's going on, he says, "This is not what my house was designed to be for. My Father's house was meant to be a house of prayer and of worship, a place where people could meet with God, and not a place for people to make a profit off other people." So he goes in there and he drives out all of those people. And then the text says he began to teach there daily. And the text then says that the religious leaders and the principal people of the town began to find a way to kill him, but they couldn't find a way to kill him because all of the people were hanging on Jesus's every word. See, what we find in this text is Jesus is bringing freedom. He's bringing real world change, and the people in control were terrified of losing that control. But what I'd like to think of in this passage is the disciples. Right? These people have been with Jesus from the very beginning. And what I like to think about is that they're probably thinking, hey, we've made it to the big leagues. We started out in the fields. We started out in the countryside with 5 loaves and 2 fish. And now here we are in the temple in Jerusalem. We are in the big leagues now. No longer is this message that Jesus is bringing out an idea way out in the countryside, but it is something that's real and it's happening right now. In their mind, revolution is about to happen. And the thing is, they were right. Revolution is about to happen, but they have no idea how this week is about to end. See, in their minds, they're picturing Jesus as getting ready to be crowned king. Little did they know that everything around them is about to change. See, revolution was coming, but it was going to look so much different than they thought. They thought it was going to be in the form of fanfare and the defeating of Romans and the tearing down of the system. But what they didn't realize was that revolution was going to come through the death of the guy they'd been following for the past several years. Little did they know that revolution was going to happen on a cross. We'll see you guys tomorrow.